Russell Brand, who has been charged with RAPE, SA, and indecent assault between 1999 and 2005. The charges relate to 4 different women. The question is Russell Brand guilty or innocent? I'm going to remain as impartial as possible and present to you fair for and against in relation to these charges and his innocence or his guilt. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel Break the Ice, or welcome for the first time if you are new here. My name is Luke, and on this channel I interview a variety of people and I deep dive true crime cases. So without further ado, let's get straight into this one. So Russell Brand has been charged with RAPE, indecent assault and SA between 1999 and 2005. The charges relate to 4 separate women. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to present to you, in my opinion, with some facts sprinkled in there, like in a trial, a case for his defence and a case for his prosecution, so for his innocence and for his guilt. Once the video is complete, I would love you to put in the comments what you think. I'm going to remain as impartial as possible and present to you fair for and against in relation to these charges and his innocence or his guilt. Ultimately, next week maybe, I will share my opinion. To be honest with you, I'm still kind of in between. But the more I hear, the more I read, I'll lean towards one way. But I will share my opinion in due course. But this video is about sharing both sides, like I said, like a defence and a prosecution, and very interested to know what your comments are, your opinions are based off of this video. So like I said, I'm going to be as fair and as unbiased as possible. I've got 6 points for defence and 6 points for prosecution, as in cases and trials. The prosecution will go first. So just to reiterate again, these are my opinions and with a sprinkle of facts. Number 1, Russell was a self-confessed sex addict and has spoken candidly about this publicly and also in his book. This obviously would put him in an awful lot of sexual situations when he was younger. The more sexual partners and the more women that Russell has approached naturally increases the odds that some of them may have been non-consensual. To admit to being a sex addict might be forward planning in the eventuality of a scenario that he's in right now. Number 2, for the prosecution, he was a self-confessed drug addict, suggesting that he was often under the influence, which could very easily lead to irrational behaviour. Blackouts, mood swings, confidence boosts, not thinking logically, and an even more inflated ego than his normal TV ego was back then, which was big. I don't think many of us would argue against the size of his ego back in those early days on television and Big Brother's Big Mouth. Number 3, about the ego. So his massive ego and love for himself was clear to see in the noughties. He appeared cocky, narcissistic, very self-assured, egotistical, arrogant, and an all-round massive show-off. This behaviour could indicate that he believed that any woman that he wants, he's got the right to get, regardless of if she wants him or not. Number 4, in the prosecution, Russell was incredibly popular with women in the noughties. He was a tall, good-looking, charming man who was on the TV hosting shows. Many women flocked to his feet and admired him, and many would have slept with him, and many did. Again, inflating that already gigantic ego. Inflating his ego so much that it's possible that he felt if he wants a woman, that he will get her. It's possible that he felt like no woman could turn him down. And how would he react to this? So with that being said, it's possible that if Russell, having all these women fall at his feet, sleeping with virtually anybody that he wants, what happens when he's rejected? What happens when he makes advances and he's denied? What happens when he's paired off? Not interested, Russell. How does he react to that? The man who can sleep with anyone. The man with the massive ego. The show-off. The man with the charisma. What happens when a woman says no? This could be a real shock to the system for Russell. And how did he handle that? Did he not take no for an answer due to his grandiose state of mind? Number 5, the prosecution. So Russell in recent times has claimed to have found God, or the Lord, as he puts it, which of course is no crime. But there's been many accounts over the years of those who commit serious crimes turning to God or finding themselves studying a certain religion or practicing a certain religion. It's happened many, many times over the years. Now, is this a way to come across as a decent, God-fearing man who couldn't possibly have committed those crimes? It's food for thought. That card, it may be true. He may have found God. He may have found the Lord. He may practice. But also it has been used. People that have committed crimes, who end up in prison, especially, they turn to God. Myra Hindley, she turned to God. Chris Watts, he found God. The list goes on. Number 6, and the final point in the prosecution's case, if you will. Why now? Now, there seems to have been a movement over the last few years where people are being outed, cancelled, or have faced prison time for a variety of different crimes. Savile, he never faced prosecution because he died. But you got Savile, Rolf Harris, Hugh Edwards, P. Diddy, Harvey Weinstein. Also, the Me Too movement has gained real traction over the past, I don't know how many years, but it seems like quite a few years now. It seems like 10 years. It's gained a lot of traction, a lot of movement. So is it possible that the 4 accusers feel like now is a safe time to come forward with these accusations? Because a lot of people seem to be getting outed. The Me Too movement, 2025, the year where everything is exposed. Is this why they feel now is the right time? So that's the case for the prosecution. So we'll go straight over to the defence, right? Straight to the defence, and there is 6 points, 6 points for each. Number 1, in the defence of Russell Brand arguing for his innocence. Many people see Russell as a threat to the system and to the powers that be. And a lot of people think that they want him silenced. This is due to his platform size, his influence, his social media presence, and most importantly, what he actually talks about on the platforms that he's got. He starts his videos welcoming his awakening wonders. So that's kind of his MO. It's to wake up people to what he believes is going on in the world. He implies or just outright says that not everything is as it seems and that we, the people, are being lied to a lot. Russell has got a gigantic following and he more often than not rages against the machine. He talks about very controversial subjects that often go against the government or the mainstream media narrative. This is what he does. I'm going to read some facts now about Russell Brand's YouTube channel, which, lest we forget, was demonetised before any charges came his way. It was demonetised, which may have been a way to make him think, well, what's the point in this? I can't make any money off YouTube. They demonetised him when he was accused. So anyone can accuse anyone now, can they? And then they're sacked from their job? Their YouTube channel is demonetised because of accusations? That's not fair. So let's talk about that YouTube channel then. I want to give more of an understanding of the size of his channel and therefore his influence and his reach. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read Russell Brand's description on his channel. It's very small font, so I need to get the old windows on. Hello, you awakening wonder. Thank you for reading this when you could be obediently consuming propaganda. We are living through a time of incredible change and opportunity. Many of the old systems are corrupted and broken, and yet a new spirit is being born among us. For the first time, new alliances are forming in the online world that could challenge these old and broken systems. Something ancient and original is awakening within us. Here we can learn from elders and grow together in good faith, flawed but rising together. So that's his description. That's what his channel is about. That's what it tells us. Russell has 6.82 million subscribers. That is a lot of subscribers. He's had 1.54, at the recording of this, 1.54 billion. Billion with a B. YouTube views for the establishment. That's dangerous stat, isn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out the subscriber count on a few big, well-known news outlets. GB News, 1.7. First, let's just remember Russell Brand's 6.82 million subscribers on Russell Brand's YouTube. Okay. GB News, 1.73 million. ITV News, 1.96. He dominates both of them combined. Sky News, 8.39. So he's not far off Sky News, one of the biggest news broadcasters on the planet. He's not far behind them. Then you've got Fox News, which is 13.4 million. It's like halfway to them. BBC News, 7.7. CNN, 17.9. So he's in the pond with the fish. Are you with me? He's not as big as the big dogs that I said at the end of that list, but he's bigger than the ones at the beginning. So on average, he's a big player. And what he speaks about, what he talks about, is raging against the machine and anti-establishment and awakening people to what's really going on in the world. So I think that's very, very important to know those stats about his channel, his influence, his voice. Think about Mr. Beast, who's got a gigantic channel. What he does, he just does loads of fun, silly games and challenges and whatnot. He's not a threat. I would argue that Russell Brand is a threat. Number two is the timing of these allegations. The timing of the allegations coming 20 to 26 years ago after they allegedly happened poses the question of why now, especially when it's 4 different women making these allegations. And it isn't just one. So why not say something back when this happened in the first instance? Also, I find it very suspicious that 4 women would come out of the woodwork at roughly the same time. Strikes me as slightly dodgy, in my opinion. To me, this would suggest some conversation between the four women. If this is a hit job, if it's a hit piece, if it's an attack, then a conversation between the 4 to collude together to bring Russell down. There's strength in numbers. And 4 accusers is obviously a much bigger number than 1 accuser. So is this the MO to bring him down? It's another point in his defence. Okay, number 3 in the defence for Russell Brand. Russell has implanted himself deeply into video social media platforms like YouTube and Rumble and has seen his growth flourish over the past few years. And he actively works to further his growth. It doesn't make logical sense to keep trying to grow your status whilst at the same time being a nuisance and a thorn in the side of the establishment if you know you are guilty of numerous historical SA crimes. To me, that doesn't make sense. Because a man of his intelligence surely would think, the more I grow, the bigger I get, the more I talk out. These women from the past, if he's done it, he would think, well, that it's going to come and bite me on the behind. So it doesn't actually make logical sense for him to keep growing himself if he knows what he's done. He's a very intelligent man. And if he's done this, I think that would definitely be on his mind. I don't want to grow. I want to just sail off into the sunset and be discreet. But he's not. Even now, even right this moment, he's been charged. He's posting videos. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. If he knows he's guilty of these crimes that he's been charged with, surely he wouldn't want to be this huge figure. This, in my opinion, is the behaviour of an innocent man. Number 4 in the defence. So Russell has been very open and transparent about his sex addiction, about his drug addiction over the years. He's not been shy about it. I think it's very possible that with Russell being so open about this and bearing his soul in the way that he has done, wearing his heart on his sleeve, being so honest and transparent, that this may have been used against him as an in to pin these allegations and charges on him. His admission to being a sex and drug addict effectively making him quite an easy target. And it's a very easy place to start when trying to bring someone down. Number 5 on the defence. So I'm just going to focus on this now because fair chunk. Leaving Hollywood to escape its darkness. In recent years, there's been strong rumours that Hollywood has a very dark side to it. I think we've all starting to wise up to that, especially in very recent times. The selling of souls for personal gains, like a rise on the career ladder or a jump in status. Dangerous cults, PDF rings, trafficking, and an all-round pretty bad dark place. The most recent cases of this have been Weinstein, Epstein, a couple of Steens there, and the plethora of A-list names linked to Epstein and now to the Diddy case. Russell was married to Katy Perry, which would have given him much more of an insight into the goings-on in Hollywood. I've been doing really well without putting my glasses on to read, but it's getting tough now, so on the pop. Right. So Russell has been quoted to have said the following on a different podcast. Me and my family have been significantly attacked in California. He also said, what we all recognise about Hollywood, all of the superficiality, the corruption, and since revelations about Epstein and Diddy, and the acknowledgement that there might be some serious seedy stuff going on, well, beyond seedy, criminal stuff going on. That's a quote. He also refers to it as damn right satanic. So because of his strong views on Hollywood and his aforementioned social media presence, is Hollywood now scared of his ever-growing reach? And could this be a case of let's shut him up before he blows the whistle? Let's get to him before he can even go there, before he can even open up the lid. Because he's doing it in the UK. He talks about the government. He talks about his controversial subject. He talks about the government, talks about COVID, talks about US government. He speaks about things that I don't believe the mainstream media want him to be talking about, especially with such a massive platform that he's got. So what did he see in Hollywood? He said himself it was satanic. So he left there for a reason. Did he leave Katy Perry for a reason? Is he a really good man that left there because he saw some horrific stuff? And are they now scared of what he knows? Maybe they weren't back when he kind of left. But with his growing platform and his voice being louder and louder and being very anti-establishment and again raging against the machine, is it now like, right, let's shut this guy up before he does start talking about Hollywood? That's number 5. So finally, number 6 in the defence for Russell Brand. Why would he need to RAPE or SA? The allegations are from between 1999 and 2005. And this is a time when Russell was on his rise on the UK television circuit and was becoming quite popular, especially on Big Brother's Big Mouth, which is about 2004. He had charm, charisma, good looks, and was very, very popular with the ladies. And he did have many women falling at his feet. He basically had his pickings of who he wanted as a sexual partner. So with so much attention and options available to him, I asked the question of why would he even think about SA or RAPE? Never mind acting on it. The world was at his feet, and furthermore, to elaborate on a different point, why would he continue to want to grow his social media presence, grow his influence, and say what he says, preach what he preaches, and talk about the controversial stuff that he does? Why would he do this if he knew that he committed these crimes between 1999 and 2005? So, there you go. You have a case for prosecution, in my opinion, with some facts, and a case for his defence, with my opinion and some facts. So I am currently running a poll on my community post on this channel, and I would love you to, as well as commenting on this video, of course, is to cast a vote. The poll is, do you believe that Russell Brand is guilty or not guilty? Please go over and have your say. Cast your vote, if you will. But 138 votes since yesterday. 59% think guilty, 41% think not guilty. Now, I'm going to leave that up for about a week because I want a really, really good sample size. You know, if you flip heads or tails 10 times, you might get 7 heads. It's not a good sample size. You do it a million times, it evens out to 50-50. So I want a really good sample size. I'm going to give it a week. I'd love to get 1,000 votes. If we can get 1,000 votes, that'll be outstanding. And it'll be a really good sample size. So please go over to the community post, cast your vote, and leave your comment in there. Next week, I will reveal the results of the poll. You'll be able to see it in real time anyway. And I'll probably do another video giving my opinion, kind of torn at the moment, giving my opinion, revealing the poll, and talking about comments that have come from this video and talking about your opinions. So I think a follow-up video to this video is warranted and needed. So there you have it. I have presented to you my opinion with a few facts, a case for his prosecution and his guilt, and a case for his defence and his innocence. Now, what do you think? Is Russell Brand innocent? Or is he guilty? Is this an attack? Is this a setup? Are they trying to bring him down because of what he talks about? Or did he commit these crimes between 1999 and 2005? Is he as guilty as he has been charged? Please let me know what your thoughts are. I'm very interested to read your comments. I'll get back to as many as I can. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Like this video. And it'll get pushed around the algorithm and it'll be seen by more people. And I think a topic like this, subject like this, is it needs to be seen by more people. And the way I presented this with a unbiased argument for, argument against, I think I've tackled this in a different way to how I've seen other videos presented. Everyone's got different styles and stuff like that. I wanted to keep my opinion out of it for now and just present a for and against, almost like a trial, like I said. I'm very interested to look at your comments. Go and cast your vote in the community post, and I'll do a follow-up video next week. So that is that. I'm going to leave with the question that I started at the beginning. Is Russell Brand guilty or not guilty? Let me know what you think. Again, the sun is shining. This is, surprisingly, this is Manchester, not Barbados. Long may it continue. So, whatever you do today, have a great day. And as always, peace out.